So now we have this doorway. We want to make it look somewhat like a temple. Obviously, this lower part here looks completely fake. All right, so we're going to edit that with a mask. To make a mask, make sure your door is selected here, and we're going to click on this to make a mask. Right? The brush, make sure you have a soft brush. Okay, so choose some soft brush, and we're going to pass in a straight line like this to kind of match it to the horizon. Okay, to do that in a straight line, obviously hold shift and pass like this. Okay, and like that we get kind of it's somewhat matching, as you notice. That becomes kind of part, like it's almost beyond the horizon. It's a huge building, let's say, like a temple. All right. Mela. So now we will be placing clouds at the bottom, okay, to kind of make it like more mysterious, let's say. Okay, and to do that, we're going to embed more images. Now go on File, Place Embedded, and we have an image called Clouds for Peer. Okay, and we're going to place that. And we have these bunch of clouds. I'm going to place them something like this. I'm going to reduce to opacity so I can see what I'm doing. Let me place it a bit higher. Okay. So I'm holding the shift there to keep it within the image structure. And I can, let's say, place it like this so that the peer, this part, is surrounded by these mysterious clouds. I press enter, so I remove that free transform, and I can move them around. I can put this back, the opacity, I can put this back to 100. And once again, I'm going to apply a mask to these clouds. Make sure that clouds for peer is selected. Apply a mask. Okay, and once again, with a soft brush, we're going in with the black. The black, you see, kind of hides what's at the back. All right, and we're going to start doing that slowly. Well, here I can remove. The idea is that I will have clouds kind of forming like they are part of the visuals. Here, for example, I can increase the brush size a bit. You don't need to do this when you're editing like this. Don't try to kind of do everything at the same time. Okay, most of the times you'll just be kind of clicking around part by part. That's very normal, okay, for photo editing. So don't feel like you're like a noob or something just because you're clicking around. That's actually how these things are done. Okay, and here, maybe a bit larger brush. Over here. The idea is to remove everything that's not part of these clouds. Okay, these clouds, remember that we need to kind of make them blended. So don't freak out that you go kind of a bit over them, because they're meant to be kind of coming out of everything. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce opacity again so I can see where the peer is, because we need to bring it out. Okay, so like this I can see where it is, and I'm going to start bringing it out by going over it through the mask. Remember that if you make a mistake, and let's say, just to show you, let's say by mistake I do this, okay, I will just change this to white and bring it back again. All right, so that's very easy. All right, so I'm going to change this to black again. So we continue it, and here try, as much as possible to edit and bring it like that. All right, so now we have kind of like clouds forming at the bottom. They're rising from the sea, and we have this kind of thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change to white, because here I would like to bring this part back in a bit. Maybe I make a smaller brush. Once again, just so they look more natural. Even here. The more natural you're able to make it, the better, at the end of the day, your composite is. There will be a lot of back and forth, going in and out and changing from black to white. That's normal. That's very normal. That's how composites are made. Okay. Here. And remember, you would need to zoom in, just as I'm doing, okay, to see properly. And you would also need to change the brush sizes. That's also very, very normal. Okay, and there we go. Okay, we have, let's say, the pier with these clouds kind of forming next to it. Voilà. That part is done. Okay, now we need to make this, let's say, it's a door, but it became almost like a temple. Okay, and we want to surround that also with clouds. Okay, so we have another image. We're going to go File and Place Embedded. And we have this image called Clouds for Sky. And we're going to place it. Okay, and it's going to look something like this. Now this we can place just below the horizon. Okay, the horizon is here. I'm going to place it something like this. Okay, and once again, you'll notice that at this point it doesn't make much sense. So we need to edit it. Okay, Mela, to do that, we're going to double click on the thumbnail here. So we go into the layers panel. Okay, so by double clicking on that part, sorry, not like this. Oh, I know why it's doing this, because you see here, there's this image, we would need to raster it once again. That's why it's doing that. So layer, rasterize smart object, and like this, when I double click on it, when I double click on this thumbnail, I get the layers panel. Okay, and we need to edit the blending over here. Okay, and I have some specific numbers to do that, and we're going to see what's happening. To see what's happening, make sure that this box of preview is checked in. Okay, it needs to have that kind of very good in it, so you see what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to start by moving this, let's say to 154, something like this. Okay, I'm going to move the other one to 199, like this. I'm editing the shadows. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm going to continue editing. I need another one. To do that, I would need to split this one. To split it, you need to hold Alt and click on it, and it will split. Okay, I'm going to put the other one at 255. Actually, I think maybe if we move this one to 141, it would be better. So 141, 199, 255. And our clouds will look something like this. Actually, I'm still not happy completely. Okay, let's do it 149, 199, and 255. And we'll have something like this, right? Those are going to be our clouds. Mela, once again, we need to add a mask. So make sure clouds for sky are selected, add a mask, okay? And I'm going to start going over with a soft brush, important. I'm going to, go over these edges. I'm going to make a larger brush, and wherever it's kind of a bit too much, I'm going to just go over it like that. Remember that you can change the opacity of the brush from here. Okay, so because not necessarily you need to edit everything, to remove everything heavily. So let's say we have something like this. What's important at this point is that we remove this bottom part. Okay, so I'm going to start from here, hold shift, and go kind of in a line like that. So I remove that kind of junk which is extra. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to edit parts of this, because like this it's covering our temple a lot. So I'm going to make a smaller brush. For example, this, I wish that it shows a bit more. So it's like the clouds are passing from behind, and like that we give a sense of depth to the image. For example, this would be nice if it shows a bit more. Okay, and even here, for example. So it looks like it's passing from behind, and it's kind of, remember that when we're doing these things, it's always a balance of how much we're showing and how much we're hiding. Okay, for example, this part over here, I'm not necessarily a fan of, so I leave it kind of hidden with the clouds. But for example here, that's quite nice, so that part I will show. Right, so let's say we have it something like this. All right, Mela, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to insert those birds that were shown in the first image once again to give a sense of depth. Mela, File, Place Embedded, and we have an image called birds. Okay, and we get these birds. Obviously, you'll notice that there's a bunch of white behind them. All right. By the way, what I did when it's like this, when I embedded it, I just pressed enter, so I can continue to work with. Mela, what we need to do to remove this white, it's very, very easy. Essentially, we don't need to select anything. We're just going to change the blending mode. Mela, from here, at the moment it's normal. We're going to change it to multiply, and it's here. So multiply, what it does is it makes white transparent and keeps the other colors. Okay, so it's perfect for this image in this case. And we need to resize to make sure that it makes sense. You just need to press Command T for free transform, or Control T, whatever you have, or edit free transform. Okay, whatever is comfortable for you. However, I suggest that you start learning shortcuts, because that increases your workflow. Okay, so place it in a way that makes compositional sense. Let's say I'm going to leave it something like this. All right, now what's left is something very small to kind of combine the colors together. All right, and that's it, we would be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take images from from this image already. Oh, not images, sorry. I'm going to take colors from this image already to kind of emphasize them a bit more. Right, so I'm going to select the sunset layer, and I would like to take one of these yellows and one of these purples. Okay, so for foreground, at the moment it's like that because I did it before. Well, I'm going to take the eyedropper and select some nice purple. Let's see, perhaps something like this, and I'm going to kind of darken it a bit. So I'm darkening it, you know, for a bit of drama, things like that. Well, let's actually move it a bit. All right, I'm happy with that purple. Well, and then to set background color, click on the background color, not on the front. Okay, you'll see this kind of note coming up, and click on set background color. Well, once again, I'm going with the eyedropper, and I'm going to select a nice yellow. Well, let me, I don't know why. Let me fix it quickly. All right, sorry about that. Well, let's go back to having a purple. You can either select it from the image using the eyedropper, or you can do it correctly by selecting a nice yellow and purple like this. All right, and that's it. I have a purple and a yellow over here. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an adjustment layer. So to do that, I need to go from here, you see this kind of half moon kind of thing, and I'm going to select, let's see, from here, I don't think we need an adjustment layer. I think we can, for example, go straight to gradient. Okay, that is an adjustment layer. Well, let's select gradient. Okay, and here we get our gradient. We get to choose what colors to put. And here I would like that yellow. All right, and I selected it from here. See, so our gradient will go from purple to yellow, and press OK. Mela, to change the angle of the gradient, I'm realizing look what I did. Okay, I put it there. Ignore it. Mela, I'm just going to do it again. Make sure nothing is selected, because otherwise it will change the color of the image. I'm sorry about that. Okay, and we need something like this. Okay, something in general to change the atmosphere. So angle, make sure you turn it to 180. Okay, so it kind of goes from one side to the other. And press OK. No, let me put the yellow here again. Press OK. And obviously this, we don't want it this harsh. We're going to reduce the opacity of this. Like I said, this is just to create a bit of drama, you know, to make it more kind of exciting, right? And I'm going to change the layer mode of that from normal here to soft light, and I'm going to change it to here. See, and now it's kind of harsher. This is normal. When I change it to soft light, it becomes like this. Now let's edit opacity a bit. Okay. Now it's a much more dramatic image, essentially. Right, and that's it. To save it, make sure you go File, Save. I would recommend that you would be saving, you know, as you go along. by the way, because if something happens, you don't need to start from the beginning. Save. Then to save it, and like that you'll save it as a PSD, as Photoshop format. Then to save it as JPEG, just click on Save As, the JPEG you will need to upload on your blog. And from Format here, choose JPEG. And that's it, give it the name and press Save. And that's it, that's done as well.